Before I bought my Sparkel, I went all over YouTube looking for some kind of trustworthy review, and every video I came across at the time was done by some weirdo influencer that either, one, got the machine for free or got some kind of compensation through affiliate links by guiding you to buy a Sparkel. And none of those dudes can be trusted, so I've had the machine for a year, and I'm going to give you a review now. I've had the Sparkel for about a year now, and I generally like it overall. However, there are a few things that you need to be aware of before you purchase one. But before we get into that, the big question is, why did I choose a Sparkel over a SodaStream? And the primary reason is the CO2 tanks. I didn't want to pay for them, search for them, or resort to hacks involving large tanks and converting them to work with the SodaStream. The other reason is the money. I can't recall the exact numbers, but when I did the math a year ago, using the Sparkel was more cost-effective compared to purchasing the proprietary SodaStream CO2 refills. However, that brings me to my second point and something that you may have encountered online, and that is the Sparkel carbonators. The Sparkel carbonators are simply baking soda and citric acid, and you can buy both baking soda and citric acid at an incredibly low cost in bulk. If you opt for this route and you don't use the carbonators directly from Sparkel, each drink you make will cost you pennies. Now, Sparkel is well aware of this, so they inform you that if you don't use their proprietary products, your machine will malfunction. While it likely voids the warranty, the machine, in my experience, will function perfectly if you ensure that the baking soda doesn't contain any hard bits or clumps. The best way to ensure that the baking soda is good to go is to use a generic grinder like this. I did this with citric acid once as well, but it resulted in a really unusual consistency and it wasn't necessary. Also, if you don't have a grinder, you can just use a credit card like this. So Sparkel and the people that they give free machines to will tell you that if you use this method, the machine will break or blow up or whatever, and that is simply not true. Again, I've been doing this for a year and I've not had any problems with this method. So what don't I like about the Sparkel? I think the big one for me would be that it takes 5 minutes to make a drink. I use the highest setting because that's the one that gives you the most carbonation. And yeah, it just takes 5 minutes. So that's not a deal breaker, but it is one of those times that I envy the SodaStream people because I think that they get that amount of carbonation in like seconds. Also, sometimes the machine will just turn off and start beeping mid-cycle, and it took me a bit to figure this one out, but the root cause seems to be buildup underneath of this part here. I used to just hit the lid with my fist because I'm a Neanderthal, but the actual fix is to flush it with hot water like this, and you're good to go. Just make sure that you keep your machine as clean as you can because the baking soda will definitely build up. Another thing that can happen is that water can flood up from the bottom and start to leak out on your counter, and the culprit from my experience is coming from the rim of the bottom cap. And to fix it, you just take the back of a utensil and make sure it's flush with the cap, and you are good to go. And if you're still listening, here's a pro tip for you. I use ice every time I make carbonated water. The colder the liquid, the more carbonation you're going to get. So sometimes I'll put the container in the freezer and let it get slushy, and then I use the Sparkel. You're probably also wondering to yourself, hey guy on the internet, why does your drink look yellow or green? That is lemonade Mio. I'm not sure how healthy it is for you because of all the chemicals that are in it, but that's how I roll. I live on the edge. So final thoughts. Would I buy the Sparkel again? Sure. You just have to keep in mind that there is way more prep needed and time spent to make water using the Sparkel than there would be for something like the SodaStream. But for the cost, honestly, you can't really beat it. But if you do go the route of getting a Sparkel and then getting bulk citric acid and baking soda, again, just make sure you're chopping up your baking soda nice and fine, making sure the machine's clean, and using super cold water, and you should be good to go. So yeah, that's it.